that perhaps the student was joining. Okay. All right, so the basics on this is the technological requirements to just have a successful engagement with CIU, which, it's just basic due to the fact that we're an online school. It's having a laptop and a reliable internet connection. And with this comes in pair with our institutional email policy. And basically, the first week that you're in school, you're going to be getting emails sent both to your personal account, so the one that you've been, receiving our emails to, but you will indeed need to also use your institutional email. It's part of the requirements, and actually all of the conversation with the administrative team, the faculty, and all of your advisors will be held through your institutional email. So it's very important that once you get your credentials, which for you, I believe the process of enrollment will be completed throughout this week. You'll get your credentials as well this week, Prince. So just be ready for that. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Sure, I'm ready. Yeah.
You don't have any questions?
No questions. I'm good. Thank you.
Okay, great. And so additionally, with the institutional email, just communication that will be held through there, also we have the benefits of it that if you have obviously your computer, but you don't have maybe the Word and Excel packages downloaded into your email, into your computer, sorry, you can actually download them through the email. It's one of the really good things that the school offers to the students. You can actually download the whole 365 package of all of the work programs into your computer with our subscription. So we will move on to that next, and we'll be looking at how to do it as well. Also, we actually have a YouTube channel because it's proven to be very useful for a lot of students, and we upload a wide variety of different tutorials on there. So if you have any particular things that you like to maybe dive deeper into after the presentation, we can always share that link to you, and you can always look around as well if you have any questions. Now moving forward, the two main platforms that you're going to be using as a student with CIU are your student portal and your LearnCenter. We're going to start with the student portal first, and really the student portal is just a minor website where you'll get access to your grades, your account information, you can actually request your student ID card on there, and some payment information, but it's really the minor portal that you're going to be using. The one that 90% of the time you're going to be in with is the LearnCenter. The LearnCenter is where you're going to find your classroom and your courses at, and where you're going to be submitting all of your information and all of your workouts. So it's very, very important that once you get your credentials, you can just go ahead and sign in and log in and see everything, how it works, get used to it, explore around, just so that if you have any questions beforehand, you can always reach out to us and we'll look at that, just to alleviate any doubts and just nervousness around the platform that some students do have before actually starting on April 5th. So now some of the tools that you're going to find on your LearnCenter are actually quite varied. We have access to tutor.com. We have access to Grammarly. You'll actually be getting an invitation to access a premium account on Grammarly. And if you don't know what Grammarly is about, Grammarly is basically a tool that you can download into your Word document app, or even your browser, as well as your email. And it basically helps you with grammar related issues, and it can actually set up a lot of things for you and learn with it as well. So it's a very, very useful tool. All of the staff uses it, and it really comes in handy when you want to really professionalize your communication, and obviously send out emails that are correctly set up and with your Word documents and the work that you're going to be submitting for your instructors. Now, we also have the online library, which is the Learn Center, LIRN, and we're going to be looking at that through the platform in a minute. We're actually going to be jumping into a tutorial that allows you to look at everything and how to manipulate it beforehand so that you can actually get, a visual of how the classroom looks like and what to expect. We also have the Turnitin Sandbox, which is a plagiarism checker, and this comes in handy for graduate students for sure, because they're turning in a lot of papers, it's just a lot of investigation, and you really want to make sure that you don't go over the 15% plagiarism limit that we hold, because sometimes you'll go over that and then your teacher will say, no, like, I can't accept this work. So obviously the Turnitin Sandbox is very useful, and I'll also be guiding you through how to go in there and how to use it. Now, on the Learn Center, you'll also find a student email direct login. So you'll actually find on the layout of your Learn Center a link on the top bar that you can just click, and it'll actually redirect you to where you can log in into your email. So that also comes in handy if you don't want to be looking around like, oh, the links and who sent me this and who sent me that. So you'll have everything on one platform, and you can always access it through there as well. And finally, obviously, you'll find your courses there. So along each term, you'll see that the different courses are updated on your Learn Center. So now moving forward, for the master degree students, they'll be coursing first MGT 517, and then for the DBA students, they will be coursing first GRC 600, which is Doctoral Academic Study and Rating. And for all of our courses, whether you're master's or DBA, these are all asynchronous, meaning that we do have weekly due dates. So Wednesdays and Sundays by 11:59 p.m. PST. But it's asynchronous in the sense that if you don't want to abide by the due dates and actually turn in your work beforehand, so turn it in everything on Monday because you don't want to be worrying about your schoolwork, you can do that. Obviously, you do need to respect the deadlines for whichever assignment or work, but if you want to do that beforehand, you can. You don't have to be all worried on Wednesday if you've already turned it in on Monday, that kind of thing. We do have a lot of flexibility, and also if you are in consistent communication with your instructor, you can always also handle things differently if you have a schedule that may not be as flexible, or you have any worries about, I don't know, additional stuff that you need to handle those days. So just go ahead and talk with us and your instructor openly about what's going on in your personal and professional life, and we can always try to be the most flexible possible in those sort of cases. Now, in your courses, one of the very, very important things that you need to start off with is checking the syllabus, because the syllabus is basically the layout of the whole program and the class, but also you'll get your instructor's information on there, and you will also get additional details on the course that are very, very important to start off with. So I'm actually going to be showing you how to share with you as well how to look at the syllabus first and just have a complete idea of what you're required to. Obviously, all of our terms are 6 weeks, so just make sure that you don't fall behind and you will be okay. Now, some additional platforms that you may encounter within your program and within your course, depending on which classes you're going to be taking, are these additional platforms. So we have Alex and Connect. Really, for the first course, you're not going to be worrying about these too much, but we just wanted to mention it because these are extra platforms that you're going to be directly logging in through the Learn Center, but you're going to have to upload assignments on that different platforms. So I'm also going to be showing how to find these platforms in a minute, okay? But this is not really a big deal. Now let's jump into the actual tutorial and how to find your Learn Center. So right here we have the main university website open. And basically you'll see that on this top bar, you get home, about, programs, departments, admissions, and students. Under students, you'll see, let me close this. You'll see this drop down and you'll actually find the Learn Center and Student Portal, which are the two main platforms that we reviewed right now. And you're just going to click on the Learn Center. As that is opened up, you're going to get to this display and you're going to be typing in your credentials. So you're going to get a username and password that we're going to be sending out to you throughout this week, Prince, so you can log in and check everything. So in my case, I'm just going to go ahead and log in. And this is the first screen that you're going to be welcomed by. So you're actually going to, you actually get a personalized current time at CIU view, and it's very, very useful if you don't live in California, because all of our weekly due dates are on PST. They're Pacific time, Pacific Standard Time. So you do need to go ahead and check this these times to be able to not go over the deadline and just get confused because of your time zone. So always relate to this clock to this screen, and you can make sure that you're actually turning in things in the correct times. So now to go ahead and look at your courses, you're going to have two different ways to look at them. And the first one is at the top bar. You're going to get, the My Courses button. So it's very straightforward. You'll just have to click on there and then you'll get your course overview. So you'll get all of your different classes on here. And for this time, we're going to be using GRC 600, so the DBA. And really, I'm just going to use this as the example because all of our layouts are the same, whether you're a GRC or you're a master's, or the layout, what you're going to be looking at and expecting in terms of format and how to, submit different work. It's basically the same. So we really don't, you're not going to find a lot of differences and things that will get you confused. So now the Start Here folder is the most important, as I said, because there you can actually find the syllabus and the contact of your instructor. So right here below, you'll see straight off course syllabus, course overview, course navigation tutorials, and then these two. Now, as a tip, every single green puzzle piece is either a textbook or an additional platform. So you can always hold those in the back of your mind. If I'm seeing a green puzzle piece, it's either an additional textbook that I need to check for my course, or an additional platform which I need to log in to submit my assignments. So that is one tip, first tip on the presentation. And then down below, you'll also get your instructor contact information. They normally share their institutional emails with you as well as their phone numbers. So you can always feel free to call them within their office hours. This is why you need to check as well this part of your course, because they normally share their availability and when they actually respond to the students. Now let's go back to Start Here. Yes, you'll normally, the overviews for each of the folders that you'll see next will lay out a course description and then all of the tasks that you'll be doing for week to week. So on this one, we're gonna go ahead and click on week 1. And basically, yes, like I said, it's a weekly sort of description of what you're going to be looking at, what your topic is for that week. And then you are going to be looking at this checklist. This is just a checklist. You won't get any activities on the top checklist. You'll actually get all of your activities and all the links that you need to follow on the second sort of just box of information. You'll see down below week 1's activities, and you'll see everything. So For the introduce yourself and many of the text posts that you will get on your platform and on your courses, you'll see this. Let me go ahead and click on introduce yourself. And this one is actually the very important one, because on Monday, April 5th, the first thing that you need to make sure that you complete is your introduction. So once you go ahead and click on introduce yourself, you're gonna have this button here down below, which says add a new discussion, and basically you'll have to type in your subject, so maybe your full name, and then type your post, depending on, obviously, you're reading the instructions and what the instructor requires of you to include within the post. Basically, to post it, you'll only have to click on the submit button. If you want to add any additional files, so maybe a picture or something else, you can always go ahead and open up your files on here and add and submit and upload any additional files within it. Now for week 1, let's go ahead and check other types of posts. And just so that you know, throughout all of the weeks, there's 3 particular types of posts that you need to be making, which are the text posts, the assignments, and the quizzes. So it really doesn't vary much from week to week. So that's why we want to see and look at the different formats for each of them. So for the text posts, you'll normally see these. So the add a new discussion. Then for the quizzes, you'll also see something like this link, and you'll have to click on the quizzes and basically just continue or start your new attempt, and basically it'll just pop up like a normal drop-down quiz that you can begin. Now let's go back to week 1, and then last but not least, the third type of post or assignment that you'll need to be looking at from week to week are your assignments, and this is where things get a little bit tricky for some students, so we do want to go ahead and check it. In week 1's assignment, it's the same thing. You'll get all of your instructions, on the course layout on top, and then you'll be getting a grading summary. So once you've completed the submission, you'll actually be able to see why you got what you did on that particular assignment, and then the submission status as well, which actually comes with a sort of built-in rubric that the teacher fills out so that you know in which areas you did good, and maybe if you did a great job at explaining yourself, but maybe you didn't do a great job in the formatting, the teacher will let you know through this rubric, and what you can always go ahead and just better on the future. So now how to add a submission on here, it's basically you're going to be looking at this button right here, and it says add submission, just scrolling through the whole thing at the bottom, and you'll see this white text box. For this first submission, it only allows you to type in your post, but mostly from week to week, you'll also get the option to upload a document. So I'm actually going to be jumping onto week 2 so that you can see how that looks and how to actually upload a document. So we're going to be looking at week 2's assignments. Like I said, the grading summary, the submission status. This is also a good tip. Once you've submitted any of your documents for grading, this box will turn green and it'll say submitted for grading, so that you're just sure that you actually submitted a document, and you can be just at peace that you actually did the submission correctly. If you'd like us to check on the first few times, there's no problem. You can always just text us or send us an email and say like, hey, could you please check if my document is showing, and then we'll for sure check for you too. Now let's go all the way down. And okay, so week 2 is showing a document, so I'm actually going to be looking at week 3. Let's see, week 3's assignment. All right. So for this one, we don't have a submission yet, so it's perfect so that I can show you how to add a submission. So you'll basically want to click on this button and then go down below, and then you'll see this text box pop up. And basically you'll only need to go ahead and click on the blue arrow, and then you'll get your upload a file display open. And you'll get to choose a file. So I'm going to be choosing a file of my liking. Let's see if I can just, yes, okay, let's see. I'll just use, okay, I'll just use this one and then choose for upload. And then you'll see the actual name of your document pop up here. So you're doing things right up until now. And then you'll have to click upload this file. Once you've uploaded, you'll see this, but you're not done there. You need to make sure that you scroll down and save your changes, because sometimes students believe that they're done when they see this pop up, but you need to save your changes. If you don't save your changes, your document will not upload. So just make sure that you're doing things and you're checking everything that you do. And then just under your name, you'll see that your status has completed, and you'll see this turn green, so it'll be submitted for grading. Always make sure to double check, because we do have a lot of students that also work on their text posts, for example, the ones that we were looking at before, and they leave to get some coffee, and they come back and they realize that, oh, my work's not showing. And that is because if you leave your text post open, it's not like Facebook that you can just, come back and your text will be showing. These pages, unfortunately, refresh consistently. So it's much better to work on your text post on a different Word document and then copy and paste and then just post it. Because then you can find yourself losing your work if you do that. And definitely, it's very frustrating when you have everything done and then you find that you lost your document. So make sure to always work on a separate piece of on a Word document, on a separate Word document, because also then you'll also have a security copy. Sometimes if you're having issues with your internet and they don't upload, then you can always have also a file where you can just go, oh, copy, paste, and upload. And we'll be, like I said, checking in with you consistently. So if we see that you're not attending to your course, or maybe if we see that you've made good progress on a couple of weeks and then maybe week 3, you didn't really post, those kind of inconsistency, we check in with you just so that if maybe you made up a mistake, or if you didn't have a good internet connection and you think that you're all done or all set with all of your coursework, but the platform was not helping, etc. We always try to make sure that our students are all good with where they're at from week to week, so don't worry about that. And then really the last thing that we're going to be looking at on the Learn Center is the supplementary course resources. So all of the tools that I was talking about in the beginning, this is where you'll find them. So at the end of the course, here on the site section, you'll see all of the weeks, and then down below you'll see this folder that says supplementary course resources. You can also find these course resources on the Student Resource Center, but it's the easiest way to access them through your current course. Now you'll see the list that we were talking about before. So it's the Learn Center, so the online library. You can just go ahead and click on there and you'll be redirected to a new window, which will open basically our just access, to all of the different academic papers that we have for you to use. So you can always search the database with whatever you want to be writing on, or whatever you want to go ahead and research on. So we have that. All of these are PDF documents that you can use as part of your research as well. Now, we also have Grammarly. Like I said, you can actually choose how to set up your Grammarly. You can either set it yourself, which you'll only have to access the Resource Center and go ahead and follow the instructions for it, which it'll lay out a document that basically has everything for you. You can follow those steps. Let's see, let it load. Oh, it's not letting me access it, but it's basically a document with all of the instructions to set up your Grammarly. Or just ask me and I'll actually just send you a direct invitation, which is much easier, to your institutional email, and then you can just accept and it'll allow you access to download the different, settings that we have for Grammarly. Tutor.com is basically just a link that you'll get access to directly, and then there's tutors available for you 24/7. And if you have any doubts on whatever thing you're working on at that moment, you can always submit it to your tutor and have a discussion with the tutors if maybe you handle a different kind of schedule and you can't really reach out to us in that moment. So tutor.com is very, very useful, and we really do advise you to use it if you're feeling unsure of a document. Now we do have some additional just tools here which are note-taking flashcards. So if you want to study something and make it a little bit more dynamic, you can always go to those. But we normally don't have, it's not something that is obligatory. This is just a different tool. We also have the self-paced courses. So your course will only be available to you. So the actual course that you'll be taking April 5th will only be available to you 2 days before April 5th. So the weekend before the actual start date of your class. So, but if you're looking into just wanting to get, yourself used to how to log in, how to submit an assignment, how to view everything, you can actually use the self-paced courses under the supplementary course resources, because you'll get sort of like a template design of what a course normally looks like, and you can choose the first CIU steps, and basically it'll open this up, and it's like walking into one of your courses. So you'll get to see everything and feel out everything and just explore it as part of your search and your preparation to actually go into your course that weekend before. Now let's go back to our presentation. And the last thing that we're going to be reviewing with you on this orientation is very, very important, and that is attendance, and what attendance is for CIU and what attendance is as part of our policies. So what is attendance for CIU? That is submitting your academic assignments, that is taking your exams, posting in your course forum, and basically engaging consistently on your classroom. What attendance is not, and what we don't take as attendance, is just logging in without any active participation. So if you log in and you stare at your screen, we're not going to be counting that as attendance. You need to be consistently engaging with the platform. Also using a student resource that is extra. So maybe, you go ahead and log into tutor.com. That will not be counted as attendance. Once again, you need to be consistently, posting on your course room, and you need to be making sure that you're following all the deadlines and all of the instructions. And now part of it, and part of why it's so important, is because one of our policies, our main policy, is that students who fail to attend for 14 consecutive days within a term after the add drop period will be eligible for withdrawal. So make sure that you're consistently, submitting everything that you need, and that you do, just respect that deadline, because if not, if you reach out to the 14 days, you can be withdrawn on the term. So hopefully that won't be happening for you and with you. But yeah, that's really the thing. These are the overview, once again, of all of the tools that we have, and it's the Turnitin Sandbox, LearnCenter, the tutoring.com. You obviously have access to us, so the student advisors and the student success advocates, which is my direct department. Grammarly.com, the self-paced courses, the CIU channel that we were talking about here. This presentation I'll actually be sending out, so you'll actually get access to the link by just clicking on there. So you'll see our CIU channel. Let's see, right here. Okay, so you'll get access to that, and you'll get access to all of the tutorials. Now, also, and finally, the academic catalog. If you ever find yourself having any questions on our policies, on financial aid, on anything, on maybe our processes for admissions or anything else, you can go to the academic catalog. And how to find the academic catalog, I'm just going to show you lastly on here. You'll have to redirect to our main website and basically just scroll all the way down, and under resources, you'll see that you get contact us, CIU careers, etc. And then down below, you'll see course catalog and then the academic calendar. So you'll click on course catalog and you'll get the PDF document that basically has everything that you need to know on the university down there. And it's very useful if you want to review anything about your own personal case. So I believe that's it. We're going to be opening up a little time on the Q&A. So if you have any questions on the platform and what we can do for you, go ahead. This is the time. So Prince, I believe you're muted. So if you have any questions, let me know.
Yeah, quick one.
Yeah.
And that has to do with the, I think I heard you right that the plagiarism percentage is what, 15%?
Yes, correct.
Right? Yeah. When I was doing my master program, we had a tool that you can, put your work through to see the percentage of, similarities in there. Do you have anything like that?
Yes. So actually, the plagiarism checker. Let me just show you how it normally works. So the plagiarism checker on our site, which once again you can find on the Student Resource Center. Let me go ahead and show you. You'll see under important resources, you'll see that you get tutor.com. You'll get a couple of templates you can use for the formatting of your documents as well. Here you can download them and use that as your reference for formatting. And then down below, you'll see all of these resources. You'll see also that we have our main student advisors information. So if you have any questions, you can also go to them. And then down below under useful tools, you'll get the Turnitin sandbox. So right here, you'll click on student Turnitin sandbox, and basically you'll also be able to add a submission. So let me see, continue. I'm going to show you how to do that. Just give me a second. Okay, yeah, going back. So basically, you'll be able to add a submission on here. And let me show you. I'll just go ahead and click on, no. Yeah. So I'm going to be choosing a text post for, so if for your coursework you're doing a paper, you can upload this file. And basically, it'll show you, you'll save the changes on the Turnitin sandbox, and you'll get under your name, let's see, let's go back to where my name is at. Well, right here it's not showing first, but you'll see here on this in this upload test, you'll be getting this. You'll be submitting for grading, and then down here you'll actually get 100% or whatever the percentages of how original it is. So you'll get an idea, yeah. So you'll get an idea of how well you actually did and how much you're respecting of our policy. So if you get a 100%, don't worry, like it's good for uploading. If you get an 80% on the plagiarism, then you should go ahead and review it so that you don't exceed that 15%. Okay.
Cool.
And either way, if you have any additional questions on how to use this platform, I'm going to be sending out those emails, so I can send you as well a couple of different tutorials on the Turnitin sandbox per se. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, sounds good. Let's go back to our presentation. So yeah, I don't know if you have any additional questions, Prince.
One more question.
Sure.
At this level, I'm working at the same time. I do work for myself though. And I was thinking about, let's say every course is 6 weeks, right?
Sorry?
Each course is what, 6 weeks? Is that
Yes.
correct?
Correct.
All right. So let's say I take course number 1, 2, 3, and the 5th one, something comes up and I'm not able to take it. I can still, just about letting you or the academics know ahead of time that I'll not be able to enroll,
Yes.
the next class, and then I'll come back after the 6 weeks and do it? Or how does it work?
Yeah, it basically works like that. You can always request to be withdrawn for a specific period of time, and then basically when you do have time to come in, we'll let you know when the next or the following term begins, and then you'll be able to just go ahead and follow up with your work. So that, yeah, it won't be an issue.
All right. I think
Okay.
that should be good. Yeah.
For sure. Thank you so much, Prince. And once again, if you need anything, just let us know. I'll be sending out, like I said, the presentation and all of the different things for you to check. So if you have any particular questions that pop up later, you can always email me back. Okay.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, for sure. Bye. Bye, Camila.
Bye-bye.